They said it was impossible. They said,
you can't put together the most elite team of comic book reviewers on the planet and do, a podcast or something like that?
Despite all that, today we can proudly announce. Yeah, they were right. We couldn't do it. So instead, we brought you the most vile, ignorant, unprofessional group of comic book enthusiasts we could find. This is Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic podcast.
Here we are, back once again with a little something different.
A little something different.
Changing up the pace a little, because today we're talking, this is Panel to Panel. My name's Josh. I'm here today with good buddy Adam.
Greetings.
And we're going to be talking about Darth Vader #1. And this is from the 2015 series. So if you want to pull it off of your shelf if you were one of the fortunate individuals to purchase this comic book when it was out, or if you just happen to have it in your collection, or, if, you have to go on some sort of, repurposing website, then, do what you got to do, all right? But anyways, before we get into what we're going to talk about with Darth Vader, if you want to listen to all of our other stuff, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter /X at Game Rage Mag, YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. You guys have been fucking coming through on YouTube lately. And I just have to say, keep it up, all right? Just keep it the fuck up. Yes. We are just making leaps and bounds on that YouTube. And I still don't know how that shit works, but we're, despite our ignorance, the Game Rageaholics, the Game Ragey Maniacs, the Game Rage Meat Writers, whatever the fuck we're calling them, they are fucking hooking it up.
They're drinking us in, man.
Yeah, man. So you can go there. If you like music, you can... Well, interesting. If you like music, you can go to the anime... Or I'm sorry. My front door thing went off, and I'm like, there's no one at the front door. Why did that happen? Anyways, if you like anime, go to visit Frank's podcast at anime_syndicate_podcast. And that's at Instagram, and you can go listen to the Anime Syndicate podcast. If you like music, you can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram, and you can go listen to the All Gas No Trash podcast, where we give our honest opinions and just honestly piss people off, I guess. I don't know. We speak the truth. We're not like lying. We're not meat riding anybody. We're not ball washing anybody. We're just saying how it is.
Yeah, we're not even technically sound on music.
That's true.
We don't know all the technical terms. We just enjoy music for what it is.
Yeah.
The amateur perspective, the common man's perspective, the blue collar perspective.
That's right. The blue collar perspective.
I don't know how else to put it. What we see is what we like. If you don't like it, then
I tell you.
I don't know. Get that ass banned.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of Star Wars, we have recently decided to issue a challenge to see if we should bring back the Game Rage Star Wars podcast. So, if you like Star Wars, you're listening to this, you might as well, go check out the Game Rage Star Wars podcast, the newest episode, The Return of the, quote, Jedi. And we discuss what the future is going to hold for that. And basically, if we get 15 downloads on the podcast episode in the first week, we're going to fucking start it back up again. So if you want to hear us talk shit about Star Wars, we're gonna probably be focusing primarily on the old canon, because that's what we have encyclopedic knowledge of. That's what we like. And everybody else can get fucked with this new shit, or most of this new shit. So we're gonna keep it going forward. And we probably will talk about the new shit just because we're assholes and, whatever, we can shit on it. But at any rate, go check out Game Rage Star Wars if you want to hear that, and if you want us to keep going on that. So, all right, that's the end of the plugs. Darth Vader.
#1.
A #1. Dude, this cover is just fucking badass, man. With him, why is it so fucking close? Well, I said minus. There we go.
I said minus.
He's in his meditation chamber, and it's like there's smoke emanating from somewhere, and he's got his lightsaber out. Man, that is just cool as shit. Because that's not a pose that you would ever think that Darth Vader would be. He's somewhere safe, obviously, when he's in his meditation chamber. Like, there's no enemies about, because, you know, he's taking off his shit and he's just chilling. And to have to put his shit back on and pop out with a lightsaber, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and this is the duo of, if I'm not mistaken, Kieran Gillen. I'm not really familiar with what books he's written in the past. I think he's something of a notable comic book writer. I sound like a fucking idiot. And then there's Salvador. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's either Salvador LaRocca or Salvador LaRocca.
Could be La Rocca.
He did Iron Man in like the 2008 times, like the early 2000s. I forget. I think his shit was the arcs. I remember it's like Stark Resilient, Stark Disassembled, Stark Disassembled, Stark Resilient, or some shit. It's when Tony Stark loses his fucking mind because I don't remember what the fuck happens. But he was the artist for that. His shit's good. So
okay.
I forgot that he did this book. So
yeah,
I know his shit's good. But I feel like he's been in trouble in some regard because somebody mentioned that he traces his positions, or what do they call it?
The poses?
The poses, yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
Like he traces it from what? Like a picture? Like a still picture?
I'll have to look that up. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna have to look that up next episode.
Oh, yeah.
But there's criticism for this guy, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, this shit looks great.
Yeah, look, criticism aside, who gives a shit? This looks amazing. I don't give a shit how you make it. Just as long as you're making it. Fuck, man. And also, I mean, like the reflective nature of and the wrinkles in this thing, even if you're copying that, I mean, shit, you can't like you can't make that look that good. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're just copying it.
I don't even know I don't know who the cover artist is, to be honest. I don't know if it's Salvador LaRocca.
No, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, and then obviously we open up with the classic Star Wars line.
Oh shit! No, my bad.
Yeah, that's not yet. It's just it comes up with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away in that blue fucking little wording, and then we get it's the fucking scroll, right? And I'll just read the scroll so people can know like what is going on, right? So it's Book 1, Vader.
This shit is fucking great, dude.
It is, man.
Love it.
It makes me want to say it in like 1930s announcer voice, like, it is a pair of insurgents. Rebel spaceships striking from a hidden base on the moon of Yavin have won a shocking surprise victory against the rightful reign of the Galactic Empire. The Empire's ultimate peacekeeping force, the Death Star, was destroyed due to an unforeseen design flaw. Without this deterrent, the rule of law is in danger. Chaos looms. For the 19 years after the vanquishing of the Jedi and his painful rebirth on the volcanic Mustafar, Sith Lord Darth Vader has faithfully served his master. But now, he has failed the Emperor and must pay the price. And then we get the...
What the hell's that?
What? That's the washing machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's far enough away. I don't think they can hear it. And then we get this sweet-ass shot of what looks like a fucking earthquake has just taken out goddamn Jabba's palace because it's hanging hard to the right. I don't remember it being like that.
Maybe it's just a weird perspective.
Could be. But then we get Vader walking, and we get the opening up of the door gates. Vader is just standing silhouetted outside in the hot ass desert. You see, like they did a cool job of drawing that like water effect, you know, when it's like super fucking hot.
Oh, like an oasis?
Yeah, like that was cool the way they drew that. And then he walks in, and then of course, it's like these fucking Gamorrean guards are just like, oh, what's up? It's Darth fucking Vader. And he just straight turns on his lightsaber when they put the fucking little crosses on their little picks or whatever. And they cross him in front of him, and he just fucking cuts him in half, just kills him.
Which is sad because they got murdered. I mean, in episode 6, they get murdered by a Rancor. They're just kind of like the cannon fodder for like for things to get murdered.
Well, they're the cannon fodder of Jabba the Hutt. Like there's fucking base level security guards. Like
yeah.
And they really get killed by anyone with the slightest bit of main character energy just murders them. Like, so expendable. They're like the putty guys from fucking Power Rangers.
Right.
And then we got fucking good old fucking God damn it, what the fuck's this guy's name? Man, I fucking knew it when I was reading this, and now I'm blanking on it.
But he's a Twi'lek, right?
Yeah, he's a Twi'lek. It's Jabba's like translator / personal assistant. he's like speaking in fucking Huttese or whatever, so it's all, whatever. And then Vader's demanding to speak with the Hutt, and he ignites, like, it looks like he's gonna be like, yo, I'm not gonna fucking do this. And then he fucking ignites his lightsaber.
As you wish.
And he's like, yeah, you got it, good buddy. So basically we get this nice fucking shot of Jabba and every fucking person in there sleeping, like,
in his full morbid obesity.
yeah, I do think it's funny how, like, at every moment that Jabba is not partying or having like a meeting, everyone in there is just asleep. Like, that's all they do is they sleep and they party and they have fucking meetings and they torture people. Like, that's basically it. So then he basically tells him he's here, and fucking old boy, let me get his fucking name because I'm pissed off. Bib Fortuna, god damn it. Bib Fortuna tells Jabba, yo, hey, he's here, man. He fucking killed the shit out of the guards. And fucking, of course, drooly ass fucking McGee, Jabba the Hutt, wakes up and he's like, you're here early? You killed my guards? You killed 2 of them, and you want me to make a deal with you? And I mean, listen, I don't know if Jabba the Hutt is just that fucking arrogant, or if he just doesn't know who the fuck Darth Vader is at this point.
Yeah, the leader of the right hand of the
Emperor.
Yeah,
like the guy who's running the show. Like, and also he's literally has space magic. So like, how you gonna screw with this guy?
Oh man, and then you got fucking IG. Oh, I don't know what IG model it is.
Some IG model in the back. You got Boba Fett.
You got a Jawa.
You got some
shit, man. It's about to go down, cuz.
Yeah, dude. Like, oh god, shit, man. We gotta get out of here. You got fucking what's his name? Zeb Orak and the fucking and the band in the background, and he's fucking covering his face. So then fucking Vader basically tells him like, hey man, I only killed 2 of them. Don't make me reconsider my generosity.
Such a fucking great line, dude.
What a badass fucking line that is, man. And so then Jabba changes his tune, and he's like, oh, well, what can I do for you, good buddy? And Vader tells him, hey, get these assholes out of here. And so then Vader says, listen, he's like, okay, what can I do now for the Empire? And Vader tells him like, no, this isn't for the Empire. You're going to be doing a personal favor for me, Darth fucking Vader. And he says, I'm gonna come back here tomorrow to discuss our business officially.
You know what's fucking great about within these first couple panels, and this is just kind of consistent throughout the book itself, is how fucking Darth Vader, a motherfucker that cannot emote. I mean, besides him in his speech, like saying things that, oh, I'm angry, or this or that.
Yeah.
Or the tone in which he speaks, like you can kind of tell there's variations of how he feels, even though he's wearing fucking armor.
They drew his body language really, really
Yeah.
well, and the actions, like this pointing action as he's pointing at us as if we're Jabba's perspective, and then he basically says like, this is a personal issue, and you will fucking handle this the way I want.
Yeah.
And he's pointing at him, and then the next panel below is us looking at Jabba from Vader's perspective, with Vader's finger still pointed at Jabba, and basically Jabba, because he's a fucking idiot, he's like, oh, Jedi mind tricks don't work on Hutts, you fucking idiot. And fucking Darth Vader's just like, yo, I'm not doing that. I'm a fucking Sith Lord, all right? You haven't fucking dealt with these Jedi in a very long time. They're dead, and I am the reason why they did it, standing here before you today. And he's like, not tread carefully, step carefully. Also ironic because he has no feet. So fucking Jabba the Hutt kind of slides or whatever, but funny as well. So Jabba is then going on to explain about how basically like there's this bounty that the rebels have for you, and it's fucking humongous. And I also thought it was kind of cool because they keep showing Vader's feet, and they're showing because he's gonna step on that fucking trapdoor. And he basically does. And Jabba basically goes to push the button. And he says, if you disappear, no one would ever know. And then Vader just looks at him and just fucking steps back. He's like, oh, I know what's up. And then Jabba replies to him, oh, I see you know to step carefully. But are you brave or foolish, is what Jabba tells him. And then Vader fucking responds to him with, that isn't the question. The question is, are you? And god damn, that just like, and you can just hear it in that James Earl Jones fucking voice, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so good.
And then the way his helmet's positioned, it looks like he's kind of like being a smartass, like smirking, like the helmet slightly
it's cocked
tilted
to the side.
Yeah.
Which is again a great way to show a guy who has no face actually emoting and showing body language.
Yeah.
And then Jabba calls him a Jedi and fucking, being disrespectful. And he says, oh, they always make things so difficult. And then, of course, all of Jabba's hired guns are now behind Vader. And Vader just kind of looks back. He's just kind of like, of course I knew these assholes were here. And he fucking lights up his lightsaber and everybody starts shooting. Even the Jawa starts shooting. And Vader's just like, damn, like this look on his face in this panel when he's deflecting the 2 blaster bolts. He has like that look. It's telling me like, oh, you guys don't know who the fuck you're messing with right now. Like you have no idea who I am. And of course he reflects him back, kills the Jawa, kills the other guy. And now everybody's like in shock. They're like, oh shit, what do we do? And so the Gamorrean decides, fuck it, I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna go for it or do something. And Jabba goes and he pushes the fucking button. And Vader force grips the guy, the Gamorrean guard, and moves him into the fucking hole and seemingly drops him down the fucking trapdoor hole. And Vader keeps getting attacked by some other dudes. He's just blocking everything. And one of the things that's funny is if you had only seen like the original trilogy Vader, you probably wouldn't expect this sort of action from Vader. But because this is post, Rogue One and stuff like that, where we got to see Vader go crazy. We got to see him fight and be athletic and because we only got like stiff ass fucking lightsaber battles from Vader. He could barely move. This is the Vader of old, right? This is like the how Vader should have been portrayed in the movies, as this like crazy athletic force.
I don't know about athletic, because he is robotic.
He's robotic, cyborg. But he's still force augmented. So
yeah,
I mean, Vader, if he wants to roll, if he wants to rock and roll, he can rock and fucking roll if he wants to. Yeah, sure. He's maybe not going to be as nimble because he's a fucking robot, but Vader has skills, obviously. So he's just blasting everybody. He's just blasting blaster bolts back at everybody. They're all getting fucked up.
I like the utter look. Well, I mean, I don't know how Jabba the Hutt could look any different, but he's like, where the fuck am I gonna go?
Yeah, he literally, I mean, he does look like he's about to fall asleep too. Like he's like, this is diabetes. Just fucking passes right out. So now everybody's dead. Vader's standing in the middle, deactivates his lightsaber, and Jabba then, Lord Vader, let's not be hasty here. Let's just take a fucking chill pill. And so Vader does this like grip maneuver with his hand, and he says, you called me a Jedi, you know anything. Mind tricks, you know nothing. Mind tricks are not of the dark side. And then Vader starts force choking fucking Jabba the Hutt.
It's so good, man.
And then Jabba the Hutt's tongue is sticking out, he's grabbing his fucking throat. Ah.
Yeah.
And Vader says, we prefer force.
Dude, those 3 panels, right, the start of it where he has his fist clenched, and then the one right after it, and then it's like in a little bit of a different pose, and then the one right after it, we prefer force.
Oh, man.
So good. And then it is ironic to hear him talk about mind tricks because he basically got manipulated
by Palpatine, which is funny. And he says, do you understand? And Jabba's like, yes. And then Vader lets go, and he's like, you drive a hard bargain. It is difficult not to respect that. And it's true. It would be very difficult to not just have respect for that kind of power that could just, from a distance, I can just choke you to death if I felt like it.
And then he eases up on the third to last panel.
Yeah, he lets it go. And then he says, oh, that's better. This is what I need. And then he goes on to, he's going to assumingly say what he needs. And we get one day earlier at the Imperial Palace in Coruscant. And we go to the shot of the throne room, and we've got Palpatine in there in the back, Vader fucking kneeling, And you got 2 royal guards right there, standing at the front of the room. And and Palpatine's basically, it reminds me of that Robot Chicken thing when he's like, oh God, he's just so whiny, like, oh God, what happened now? And that's basically what he tells him. And then Vader tells him that he arrived on Cymoon 1 to begin negotiations with the Hutt's envoy about securing resources, but it was under attack by the rebels. And so we get to this panel where we got Han, Luke, and Leia, which Leia looks like she's a zombie. I don't know what happened here with this look. That was a little fucking weird. And he basically says that the rebels were posing as the envoy, and they basically infiltrated the moon. And they tortured the Overseer into revealing the base's codes, and then tried to, blow up the reactor. And he says, well, they had a certain success as we get to see all these like things exploding on fucking Cymoon 1. And Palpatine tells them off screen, well, this is a problem. Our production is fucked now. What happened to this Overseer guy? And the guy's name's Agadine, and Vader says he brought him with him. And he's like, I thought you'd like to hear from him yourself, basically. And so we're ensuring there's nothing that he has to hide. And then, being sure that he will not fail us again. And they have this Overseer dude strung up on that torture rack with the torture droid, and they got fucking they got him strapped up. Like, they're about to fuck his ass up with that little thing that comes forward and it stabs you with all that shit, or it's like an iron and it fucking heats you up.
Yeah.
And this was a cool panel right here when he says that and make sure that he won't fail us again, because it's him and Palpatine's next to him, and his eyes are kind of covered by the hood, and you see that like red glowing shit. That's pretty cool. And then Vader starts to say about something about the rebel agents, and Palpatine's like, I don't want to hear it. Let's talk about failure. The Overseer won't fail again, but will you? And Vader's just like, oh shit. Like, you see the look on his face. He's like, fuck, I'm in trouble. I'm about to be grounded, man. Fuck. And Palpatine goes on to say about how we kept the skeleton of the Republic for 20 years while the Death Star was being made. 20 years, my apprentice. All that planning is a layer of dust orbiting Yavin, which is true. The fucking Death Star's dead. And I don't know if Vader is primarily to say, I wouldn't say he's the cause of it, but I mean, he's getting the blame for sure, because basically he's the only one that survived. So Palpatine goes on to say that, we no longer have the Senate to hold order. We don't have the Death Star to force it. The greatest weapon we had is gone. Our production is fucked. We are essentially besieged right now by these goddamn rebels. And in all these years, we've never been so close to disaster. And Palpatine turns around and he points at him and says, thanks to you, you son of a bitch. And you can, dude, even the stormtrooper, like, you see how they were standing before? They're kind of like, he tilts his head, he's like, oh shit, like, are we about to be killed? Like, this is fucking, we're gonna die, oh no. And he tells them, you tagged the rebel ship with the homing beacon, then you let him escape with the fucking Death Star plans. On purpose. Vader takes responsibility for it, and he says, but I wasn't alone in these failings. The arrogance of this weapon invited disaster. The power of that space station, and he goes on to say that classic line, the ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force, which is, he's trying to finish it. And Palpatine just said, shut the fuck up. I've had enough of this. Yeah, Tarkin, Modi, the others, they share this blame. But you're the only one alive for me to fucking be mad at.
They're all fucking dead.
They're all dead. They paid the price for fucking up. You didn't. So he says, you are the isolated survivor of the greatest military disaster in all of my empire's history. You are truly the chosen one, Vader. Chosen to be the one responsible. Man, way to fucking throw that back in his face. That is so.
It's an abusive, gaslighting relationship.
Mind games. So Vader just says, I'll make it right. I'm going to crush these rebels. And you see some stormtroopers in the background, like they're pushing their gun into the back of a dude. They're like, keep going, asshole. Nothing to see here. And Palpatine says, nah, I don't think so. You think you're so smart, you're so clever, but you've proved that you're a blunt instrument. far better to be wielded than to wield.
That is such a shot. Oh man, I'm sure he like, oh my heart.
Yeah, he's like, goddamn, right in the dick holster.
I'm not even good enough to fucking. I'm not even good enough to go on my own. I'm only good as a tool to serve Emperor Palpatine at his discretion, only on his orders.
Yeah. And so he goes on to talk about, I think his name's Tage. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's the guy that Vader choked out in fucking A New Hope when he was talking shit about, oh, I don't believe in your sorcery and your magic. And that guy, what's even funnier about that is that guy was basically on Vader's fucking side, saying that this weapon is fucking bullshit. Like, because he's saying, like, he argued against the arrogance of the Death Star as a sole weapon. He was properly wary of the Rebels' threat. And now while the second Death Star is being made, this guy's philosophy has to be the dominant one. It has to be the tops. And he says, it's lucky he left the station before it blew up to go back to his fleet, or I'd have nobody. Nobody, Vader. I'd have nobody, you son of a bitch. He is to assume primacy. You will act according to his will. And that's got to be the worst fucking punishment, man. Like, this guy, like, this, you choked this guy out, and now he's your supervisor. That's got to fucking suck.
Man, office politics at the fucking Galactic Empire,
the
dude.
Galactic Empire. And he tells him, but first you need to go finish this deal with the Hutts. If he can't bring an agent to the core, we got to go to him. And so we don't have time to open conversations with Crimora or any of the other crime lords. He's going to expect you in 2 days' time. Make the fucking deal. And then Vader says, I am not accustomed to haggling. And he says, then you better get some practice, bitch. It's a passing phase that we have to endure. Eventually the Empire will claim the Outer Rim. It's not without its precedence to go to the periphery to secure the center. Besides, Lord Vader, a trip to Tatooine? I'm sure it will be sentimental. Oh, man, that's so fucking hilarious. Yes, good. I was expecting you, he says. And I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but we got some, like,
new
half
character.
Fucking, I don't know if he's half Rhodian. I don't know what the fuck this is, the fucking Rhodian fucking skin, or if he's just a half a cyborg dude. I don't fucking know. So he says, who is this, master? And fucking he says, no one you need to worry about. Are you trying to hide something from me? Vader tells him, and he says, a Lord of the Sith asking questions and expecting them to be meekly answered. You're a poor apprentice if you think so.
Man, some of the fucking lines dropped from Emperor Palpatine is so good, especially this one, because it's like, oh, you little bitch. Like, you're asking me, you have the audacity to ask me a question instead of, I don't know, prying it out of me or fighting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not that he's a fight him, but more authoritative or aggressive means like you're being a bitch and asking me.
Yeah, he's basically saying, I'm the master. Oh, you want to be the master? Come on, bitch. Rule of two, motherfucker. Mm-hmm. You know what you got to do. And then he asks him, and then he dismisses him by saying, is there anything else to report? And then Vader's just like,
no.
Walks away.
He just dips his head.
And then you get this like flashback of Vader fighting Obi-Wan. And there's an Imperial officer fucking asking him after he disappeared. And he said, who was he, Lord Vader? And Vader just says, an old man who thought he could help gifted children. He was mistaken. And then we go to Vader in his TIE Advanced X1 fucking literally following behind Luke's X-Wing. And he says that line. It's that same sequence from the movie. And he's like, the Force is strong with this one. And we go to them and like, I don't know if this is like a fucking just a scene that they like he's imagining.
Yeah, it's probably some flashback because of all the failure. The constant reminder of Palpatine reminding him like, you fucked up, you fucking idiot. And he's like, man, you don't gotta do shit. You don't gotta do that shit to me right now.
Yeah, and like it's funny because Luke's wearing his the gear from when he was at the celebration on Yavin after they blew up the Death Star. So he's like wearing his like celebration outfit. He's like, I was there on the Death Star. I saw him. You killed Master Kenobi. And then he's holding the lightsaber and he's like, wait, this lightsaber, I know this weapon. This once belonged to, and it's Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. And Vader sees he's standing there after he just fucking killed some dudes and the Millennium Falcon's flying away. And he's like, the boy, Obi-Wan, gave him my saber. And then it goes back to this, and he says, oh, nothing to trouble yourself with, Master, because that was all the other shit that he didn't fucking have time to even tell Palpatine about. And he's like, nah, forget it. Don't worry about it,
But
dog.
yeah, but Palpatine is also keeping shit from him.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, so he's like, okay, you want to keep shit from me? That's fine. I'll keep all this from you. And then Palpatine with this weird fucking smile. Yes, then go and do not fail me again. That's so great. And then Vader just fucking stares at this dude. He just stares him down and then just says, fuck, and he just walks away. And he's like, all right. And then he gives that, oh man, this is so sad right here, dude. This sad look back of
Sure
like,
you don't need me?
you sure you don't need me, Daddy? Like, you sure? And then he just fucking gets in the fucking elevator all
And then the
fucking
shadow
brooding.
obscures his fucking, the front of his faceplate or whatever the fuck it's called,
Yeah.
the mask. And just like, damn.
He's like, damn. It's like that Green Day song, I walk this empty street on the
Boulevard of Tatooine.
And so then he's up in his fucking Star Destroyer, and he's like, you hear somebody telling him that they've set the course, and they're going to travel across the rim to collect the trade goods, but they'll be back to Tatooine in good time for the meeting. And then Vader's like, nah, fuck that. Go to Tatooine first. Then go get what you need. Then come back.
He's like, that's going to be 2 days. That's going to be 2 extra days. He's like, are you saying you're incompetent as a fucking crew and a pilot or whatever?
Basically, he's like, the only way that's going to happen is if your engineers are shitty. And if it's true and you're terrible, then this will reflect poorly upon your command. And well, we all know how Darth Vader thinks about incompetent commanders and just kills them immediately. So then he says, we'll be there, sir. Don't you worry about it. And he's like, good. Leave me. I'm going to meditate now.
Yeah, see, I don't know why he says it in past tense, though. That's interesting.
I would meditate. Yeah, I don't know. That is interesting. And then we get to one day later, and we have fucking Vader on fucking Tatooine, and there's a bunch of shit seemingly on fire, like off screen. And this is like an epic ass fucking pose, man, with him just his cape's all furling in the wind and shit.
Yeah.
And then someone walks up, and it's, he says, you're the client, and he's like, I am, and you're the best Jabba has. Are you bounty hunters up to the challenge? And cool as shit, good old boy Boba Fett and Black Chrysanthemum fucking showing up. And he says, give us the mission. You'll see. That's what Boba Fett says. And Vader's telling him basically there's this X-Wing pilot. He knew a guy named Obi-Wan Kenobi. He left here aboard a smuggling vessel called the Millennium Falcon. And then Boba Fett's like, oh yeah, I know who that is. You want dead or alive? And Vader just says, alive. I have need of them. And he says, what about Black Chrysanthemum? And he says, there's an agent. I want him traced. He's engaged in secret work for the Emperor. It's a secret I would wish to share. Bring him to me. I would have a conversation. And then he just looks back at him and goes, do not fail me. And then Boba Fett tells him basically, the only time I fail is if you hire me to fail. Oh, I'll get this kid. Black Chrysanthemum's guy may not have all their limbs when he gets there, but he ain't gonna get away. And Vader says, good. Then let's make this start immediately. I've been delayed on this fucking planet long enough. And then literally, he says, and all my present business is concluded as he's standing amongst corpses of Tusken Raiders.
What an asshole. Like, he's like, what can I do on Tatooine? Oh, yeah, I can fucking murder Tusken Raiders.
I can murder more Tusken Raiders. Because I hate those Tusken Raiders.
I hate sand.
Yeah, basically.
What a cunt, dude.
Yeah,
like,
man. They were probably just minding their own business. These probably aren't even the same sand people. Well, they're not the same sand people that killed his mom because he already killed them. Yeah. These are just different sand people.
Yeah.
Fucking killed them.
And then on top of that, it's like from the time that he showed up on Tatooine, which was like 30 minutes of Boba Fett and the other guy showing up, he killed an entire fucking village.
Yeah, he wiped out an entire village of fucking...
Kieran Gillen, Salvador LaRocca,
Edgar Delgado,
cover artist Adi Gradnov.
Adi Gradnov. That's a great cover, man.
Cool shit, man. Great first issue.
Yeah.
A lot of hard lines dropped by it. You know what this makes it makes Darth Vader look like a bitch. Because when it says, do not fail me, it's just really coming from a place of insecurity about how he failed Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, he's just trying to make up for all that.
Yeah.
And then we get the preview of the cover for the next issue, and it's Vader walking like a boss, dude, like fucking strutting, literally strutting in front of.
Out.
Yeah, he's strutting in front of the dude. What's his name? Tag A or whatever. And he's strutting in front of him, and he's got it. He has his lightsaber in his hand too. It's not on.
Yeah,
but he's got it. It's pretty fucking sweet.
I like the Tag A gentleman be like, man, fuck this guy.
Yeah, he's standing with his arms crossed, and he's just staring at him like, what a fucking asshole this guy. He's like, bitch, I'm your supervisor now. All right, you better respect me. All right,
and if he dies, man, I mean that's going to be an Emperor Palpatine problem.
Oh, fuck yeah, it is. So, anyways, man, that was such a great issue. I can't wait to fucking continue this.
Yeah, this is a nice little transition away from superhero shit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, anyways, you got anything else to add for this?
No, I have to say that I came in surprised because I thought it was the reverse, the two series. I thought this one started with Mustafar and all that shit. Like before A New Hope, and I was pleasantly surprised that I even, because I'll be honest with you, when I read these things, because we already know kind of the key points of Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
And with this new character being introduced, like, I hate to say it, but in my brain, I think it's inconsequential because this character is probably going to die or be lost at sea, I guess, and so to speak. So I know he doesn't have a pivotal role, but I think the moments I'm looking for are things like this, like finer dialogue between each of the characters, between Palpatine and Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I mean, if new characters are introduced, I mean, cool, but I don't know how big of a role they're going to play. Be like, oh, holy shit, this guy's going to change how we see Star Wars, like, or how we see certain episodes, or how we see
certain events or whatever.
Certain events. I mean, I don't expect that, but I maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, maybe. So, well, anyways, we'll have to stay tuned and see. So, anyways, that'll do it for us. If you want to listen to more of our shit, go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag, YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. And, you know, if you like Star Wars, go give the Game Rage Star Wars podcast a try. It's on everything. I mean, just go check it out and see if you're into it. Also, if you like music, you can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram, and you can go listen to, you know, the All Gas No Trash podcast. If you like the animes and the mangas, you can go listen to fucking Anime Syndicate. The what?
The animes.
The animes and the mangas. You can go listen to the Anime Syndicate podcast, and you can follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast. That's it for us. We'll catch you on the next one, unless Darth Vader comes to life and fucking murders us all.
And may the Force be with you.
Indeed.
That was Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic book podcast. Thanks for listening. If you want to know more and follow along, go to Instagram and TikTok. Follow at Game Rage Magazine. If you want to follow on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Tune in next time.